Hey planner babes, it's Mandy from Create with Mandy, and today I'm here to talk to you about pens, so planner pens specifically. So if you're new here, thanks for joining me, and if you've been here for a while, thanks again. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, so that way you can see all my future videos. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So I want to talk to you about my favorite planner pens. So I just kind of grabbed a bunch of my favorites and pulled them out here, and I'm just going to go through one by one, talk to you about them, and give a little swatch or sample here. So first, I'm going to grab this Pilot G2 in .38. This is the pen that I use in my classic catch-all planner. This is the pen I use like 95% of the time, like my favorite pen. So this is a really nice fine tip pen. I love a fine tip. Once I started getting into like bullet journaling and planning, I really discovered that I liked a fine tip instead of like a thicker one, and I just love this pen. This one is really similar to the Muji pen in .38. That's the one that I used prior to this. Well, actually I used this one first, then I found the Muji, and then I used all like 10 of them that I bought, and so now I'm back to the Pilot G2. And I'd say it's really similar to the Muji .38, like basically the same pen. It just feels a little bit different. This one has like a nice grip here, and it's click instead of the Muji, which was like, it had the cap like this. And the only reason why I didn't stick with the Muji is because I just didn't buy more, and I already had some of these. Another thing that I really like about these pens is that you can just buy this insert, the ink part, and you don't have to buy the whole pen. So that's really sustainable for you guys who know that I'm very eco-friendly, all that stuff. I love that you can just buy the ink refills. I don't know necessarily if it's like cheaper. It probably is because you're not buying the whole pen, but I just love the idea. You don't have to keep throwing away like the plastic pen part. You can just get the new refill of ink. So that's super special. So yeah, .38 Pilot G2, my favorite. And it is a little like scratchy, but I really like that. So if that's something that you like too, and you like that in a fine point, like this is the pen. If you don't like a scratchy pen, then maybe this isn't for you, but this is my favorite. So I guess just to compare it, here's the Pilot G2 in 07. So this one's a lot thicker, and it's in blue. I just don't have black. And you'll be able to tell immediately once I write it in there. So much thicker. Sorry I don't have the best handwriting right now. I guess I'm just going kind of quick, but same idea. You can refill this one as well, but this is a much thicker point, but it does write, like glide across the paper a little bit smoother. So if you like this Pilot pen but want it thicker, this would be perfect for you. Yeah, so now what we have left of my favorites, so-called, I guess would be this one right here. So these three are like gel / ballpoint pens, and the rest are different. So this is a Pentel Energel. Go ahead and write that down. PN. Just reading it as I write it. And this one's in .5. So this pen was gifted to me by my friend Caddy from Having Fun Planning. She sent me this with like some other planner goodies, and she gave me 2 of them. So I've been using this one in my work planner and my mini home planner, and I just keep the pen with the planner. It's really smooth. It's 0.5, so it's a little bit thicker than my favorite, but I don't find that it's too much. You can tell here that it's thicker, but I don't really mind it too much. I mean, I don't think I'm going to use it in my everyday planner, but it works perfect for those 2 planners that I have been using it for. And again, it's really smooth. It's nice black ink. It hasn't like skipped at all. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what else is great about this pen, but I believe this is the pen that Mary Ellen from Planning with Bumble uses like exclusively, or she used to use it. I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure that's where Caddy got this recommendation from. Pretty sure. But anyway, I do like this pen. It's not my #1 favorite, but I do like it. Yeah, so I'm glad that it was gifted to me so I could try it out. So next we're getting into ballpoint non-gel pens. So these Microns were some of the first I got when I started like bullet journaling and whatever, before the Happy Planner even. And they're really nice and I still like them. So I have a 0.1, which is like rubbed off because I've used it so much. There's a 0.3 and then well, not a 0.3, 01, 03, and 05. And they're different thicknesses. So I like these. They have like a nib on them. They're not a ballpoint, it's just a nib. So these ones are a little weird because you do have to write like straight up and down. You can't really write at an angle because of the tip of the pen. But honestly, once you get used to it, I really like it. It's like it's just different than a gel pen. And obviously I'm not like a pen expert, but I know which pens I like and I'm kind of specific about them. So this is the Micron in 01, which is 0.25 millimeters. And so it's nice and thin. It's got a different type of ink. It's more like a super, super fine tip, like marker almost. Like that's kind of how I would describe the tip. It's not like a felt tip like a marker, but it's trying to see if I can kind of show you. That's a good view right there. Yeah. And so anyway, I like that pen. And I like that it comes in a pack of 3 and I think it's like $10. And so it's nice that you get a variety of thicknesses. But I do like to use this one. I used to use that one in my planner more often, but then I eventually switched. And then I like the 0.3, so Micron 03, and this one is 0.35 millimeters. Now, I use this one sometimes in my memory planner, in like the monthly, or I've just used this one before in my memory planner. I don't know why. And I've liked it. Sometimes I feel like if you use a different pen, like your handwriting is a little bit different just because of the way you hold it. So like this one, you know, I hold it a little bit different, like more up and down. And so I feel like it changes my handwriting a little bit, and I like my handwriting with this pen. So I think that's why I like it as well. Another thing interesting to note is that this is a 0.35 millimeter or whatever. Yeah, millimeter, right? Yeah. And, but the Pilot, my favorite one, is a 0.38, which is bigger, right? But you can obviously tell that it's a much thinner line. And again, that's because of the tip of this pen. So next is the 05. So this one's obviously the thickest, which is 0.45 millimeters. So that one's really nice too. Maybe if you want to write like the month at the top of your planner spread or something like that, you know, it's a little bit thicker. I think that's what I've used this one for in my planner. You know, so that way it stands out more, obviously. And so yeah, those are the Microns. Again, they have that nib tip instead of like a gel or ballpoint tip. Okay, next are 3 more pens that are all different. So let's go ahead and do this Tombow brush pen. So this one is like a calligraphy pen, brush It's got a brush there. And this one is the hard tip, which there's a hard and a soft tip and they come together. And basically, I think, again, I'm not an expert, but the hard tip allows you to write smaller, and then the soft tip will write bigger. I guess I'll go ahead and give you an example. So, and I'll go ahead and write like in like calligraphy or my type of hand lettering. So Tombow. So it allows you to get those thick down strokes with the brush tip. So you can see how the thickness is varied there, and that's because of the brush tip and that it's flexible, so I can push harder on the downstrokes to get that thicker line. And so this is the hard tip, and I'm just gonna write without varying my pressure. And this is called the Tombow Fudenosuke. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but that is the name of it, the Fudenosuke. And yeah, these you can find on Amazon and Michael's, and they're very common. Let me go grab the soft tip. So here's the soft tip. It's like in a green color on the pen, like a really dark green compared to really dark blue. And also you can tell because it says WSBS. So that is how I know the difference between them two. BH on the hard tip and BS on the soft tip. So anyway, so this one allows you to write larger, like I said, because the tip is softer. So your variation in the pressure that you can push will make your line thicker, like on the downstrokes. I'm not sure if I explained that completely in the best way, but anyway, this is the pen that I use to write names on all of my envelopes for my Etsy shop. So if you've gotten an order from me and it has your name on it and your address, this is the pen I use. And so I'll go ahead and do the sample of this one. Also, this one I am running out of ink on, but I kind of like the look that it's like a little streaky. So I'm keeping it for now. But I will be getting a new set soon. So I guess it's a little hard to tell because I just wrote bigger, but this one does allow you to get a fatter like downstroke because it's a soft tip. So I hope I'm explaining that like in a way that you can understand. Sorry if you don't. I can try to explain more down below if you have questions. But anyway, that's the hard tip and soft tip and the Tombow Fudenosuke. So next I have mild liners, or my mild liner. These are great. Other people have used a couple different other brands recently, like I think Sharpie brand has come out with a mild liner type of pen, but this is Zebra brand, and I really like it. It's worked good enough where I don't even have to go try another brand. This is in a dark gray color, but you get the chisel tip, which is nice, and then you get the fine tip. So let me go ahead and write mild liner. So I don't write things in my planner with like the fine tip. This is just being used as a highlighter sometimes. I think most of you planner babes are familiar with the Zebra mild liner. But anyway, this is one of my favorites, and I haven't felt the need to try out a different brand or anything like that. So I don't know what the Sharpies are like, but I've heard that they bleed through sometimes. Let me see how this one does. So you can see a tiny bit of like bleed right there, and then a tiny bit of ghosting, but this is a really dark gray. I have the light gray here. This is the one that I use more often. I guess I should have just used that one, but this one does not like bleed or anything, and it's like nicer, lighter gray. And so you can see on the back, well, I guess there is a touch, but anyway, I don't really notice it in my planner. Anyway, so that is the Zebra mild liner. Next is a pen that I use more as a tool and less as like writing stuff with, but my Jelly Roll 08, this is, I don't know what brand, I guess Jelly Roll is the brand, but I can't really write because it's white on white. But anyway, this I use to cover up like lines and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna like cover up these dots right here. So cover up lines in my planner if I want to put a sticker down and don't want to like see the line underneath like a clear sticker. So it is kind of a thick tip in a 08, but if you're using it basically as like a like whiteout, like an 08 is fine. But I know that they come in finer tips as well. Let's say you wanted to do like black and then write on top of it with the pen. Let's see. This is not a good example because I'm running out of ink there. Let's see. Let's make sure that's dry. But if you wanted to use it to actually write stuff with, maybe the finer tip is better. Jelly Roll in 08. So you can see there, I was still able to write within the lines, but it is kind of thicker than I would like. So that's the Jelly Roll. So these are all my favorite pens. There's really not that many here, but well, I guess this one isn't really a favorite. I just wanted to compare it, but there you go. Now I did pull out some other pens because these are like similar pens, but like not favorites, but I thought it was like they were noteworthy to kind of tell you like why I don't like them, maybe because these are like some common ones you could buy if you're at the store. So I guess let's start over here with the Pilot G207. So this is the same as this pen, but in a color. So let's write pens I don't love. Okay, Pilot G207 pink. So I, back in the beginning when I first started bullet journaling, I got a bunch of the, or no, I think it was back in high school, just to like write in my agenda in high school. I got colored pens, and I don't know, colored pens aren't my thing anymore. Yeah, I just like a black pen in my planner. And that way all the focus, I guess, can go on the decorations and stuff. So next, a common one that a lot of people use, I guess I should grab a different color. I have them in a bunch of colors, are these Papermate Flare pens. People love these, and honestly, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I am not a fan. I think I used to have a black one, but it ran out of ink, but I don't like these. So let me do this light blue. So these are like a nib tip, almost like a marker, and they're basically like a really fine tip marker. So what I don't like about these is that they're so thick. I don't even know what size this is. They're really thick. I guess that's the only thing. They're really thick. I guess it doesn't bleed through too much or anything like that, but I'm just not a fan. I just think my handwriting in this pen, because the tip is so thick, like I don't like it. I much prefer a really fine tip pen in my planner. I don't know. I guess I'm just partial to a fine tip, but I just really don't like these. And I don't even use them like to write like little sticky notes to myself. Like, I haven't touched these in a while. I should probably just get rid of them. But anyway, I know a lot of people like them, so you do you if you like them, but they're not my favorite. So next one is just like a plain Papermate pen that you can really get anywhere. See, here's the first thing I don't like about them. Sometimes they don't go. And this one just might be actually dead, but I think there's another one here. This one's a little different because it doesn't have the grippy. And again, it's doing the same thing. Maybe this is because I don't use them enough, but there you go, number one reason why I don't like them. The only thing, here's one in black that I've covered in washi tape back years ago, and it's still not working. The only thing is that sometimes I like my handwriting in this pen, but I don't like that you have to press really hard. Like you're like making a dent in your paper onto the other side. I think it's pretty obvious why I don't like these. You guys probably don't like them either, but if you do, I understand why, because like I said, I do like my handwriting in them, but there's just too many of those reasons why I don't like them. Okay, next is a Stabilo or Stabilo. Sorry, I don't know how to say it. This one's like a fine liner. It came in a pack of a bunch of different colors. I just grabbed black. This was one of the first pens I bought to start bullet journaling with. And turns out I don't really like it. So this is another nib tip, not a ballpoint. And again, you have to write up and down. This one's a little scratchy. It's like not contacting the, yeah, there we go. Look how thick those lines are compared to what I wrote. Like I feel like you're getting a varied thickness depending on how you hold it. Also, it's just way too thick. It says 0.88. That's what it says right there, 0.88. So much thicker, even compared to that micron, the biggest micron. It's so thick. And so unfortunately I didn't like those for that reason. And the reason there that you can get like varied thicknesses depending on how you hold it. Next is a black gel pen that I got in a pack of random gel pens from Target this last year. Here they are. They're really pretty colors, but I just grabbed the black, and I do like the colored ones sometimes, but I wouldn't use these in a planner because I don't like a colored pen. But here's the black one. Let's just write Target gel pen. So already when I just wrote Target gel pen, I don't know if you can tell, but you have like varied thicknesses again, and it was like running out of ink in some of the letters. And so I just don't like that it's not consistent compared to some of my favorites, which the ink and the like how the ink flows from the pen is more consistent. And then the last one, so this is kind of like a copycat of, you know, this, or more like this, the Pilot G2. This is just from Staples. This is one that my boyfriend bought, or yeah, I think he bought some of it, I don't know, when he was like studying for school. Anyway, but this is like a, I guess like 1.0 tip. But this pen, the tip, it's a gel like ballpoint pen. Reminds me of the feel of these pens, like the ink does. I did a terrible job of writing Staples, but let me go ahead and write it again. If I hold it up closer, I think you'll be able to tell kind of what I mean. It's like, just reminds me too much of these pens, but in black, obviously. So that kind of does it. I might have left out, or may have left out some things, but let me know down below if I forgot to say anything, or if you have a question about any of these pens. I have most of my favorites linked below if you want to get them, but that is pretty much it, you guys. So my favorite pens, my not so favorite pens, and hopefully I gave you all the reasons, or all the reasons that I had that I like or don't like these pens. Let me know down below which pen you use, because I probably left some big name pens off the list because I don't use them or don't have them. But let me know down below what you use, because I would love to find and try out new pens. I'm also just curious to know, because I know us planner people are super specific about our pens. So yeah, let me know down below, and I always respond to my comments, so I will always get back to you on that. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.